Welcome to Sportsmail's roundup of the action here at Wimbledon on day 11 at the All England Club. And Stuart, Fraser, Mike Dickson, Sportsmail's tennis correspondent, is here as well. And not a good day for British tennis fans. Andy Murray losing in straight sets to Roger Federer. What a performance from Federer. It's too good over the course of 3 sets and strong in serve. Mike, 33 years old, and that's possibly the best performance serve-wise of Federer's career.
Amazing, really. He's actually nearly 34, remember. It's only about, I think, 4 weeks to his 34th birthday. Somebody should examine his birth certificate, because that was absolutely extraordinary. I don't think Murray fans should be, or Murray himself should be too down about it. I don't think he played particularly well. He didn't play badly at all. He hasn't got a great deal to reproach himself for. Obviously, there are individual points here and there that he could have played better on. He could have returned a little bit better on occasions. He hit one or two quite important forehands in the net, but he was probably going for it. You know, everyone's always saying you need to be aggressive. That was partly to do with it. But, you know, all hail Federer. It was an absolutely fantastic performance.
If there was ever one moment in the match you felt this might be the moment Murray could get back into it was at the second set. Murray serving to stay in the second set, and an astonishing sort of 15-minute game. I think there were 7 deuces. Murray saved 5 set points before holding. Did you feel after that if that was the point, Murray was going to get back into it, the momentum needed to swing there?
Well, probably. It was very important, I think, from Federer's point of view that after that epic 10th game, he won that next service game pretty comfortably, and that almost sort of reset the dial. And then, of course, he comes up with a terrific break game. And you could see, I think Murray was just in despair after that. You could see the frustration in him, just, what can I do here? I'm not sure. I've watched tennis here quite a long time. I can't remember as much chalk dust coming up. Well, it's not. I'm not sure it is exactly chalk dust now that they use, but you know, the stuff flying off the court. He was just hitting the lines all the time, and you know, as good as Andy Murray is, and we all know he's a terrific player, there's only a certain amount you can do against that.
Do you think under sort of Stefan Edberg coaching him for a while now, do you think he's sort of almost reinvented himself in a way? I mean, now he's serving the best he ever has, really. You look at this run he had, 116 straight holds before I think Gilles Simon broke him the other day. But do you think that's the way for someone who is 33 now, almost 34 as you say, the serve is a good way to get 3 points? Well,
and if you're in as good a shape as he is, we saw it with Karlovic. He's building a sort of Indian summer of a career around one shot. Federer is an awful lot better than that. But you know, his arm is still very quick, and of course his fantastic coordination, that he's got fantastic technique, and it enables him to produce that kind of performance today that defeated someone who, you know, over the course of this year, let's be clear, Andy Murray's been the world's second best player, really. He's overall been better than Federer, but today he was second best.
So Federer now takes on Novak Djokovic. He had a comfortable in the end straight sets victory against Richard Gasquet. Tight first set, went to tie break, but Djokovic coming through in the end. And who's favourite for Sunday's final, do you reckon?
Well, it's interesting. I always think Novak's record in finals outside Australia is an interesting one, in that he seems to win by rote in Australia and struggle. I think it's 3 out of 11 elsewhere that he's lost. Is it?
Something like that.
Yeah. That is going to be a sort of positive thing in Federer's mind. I think also the crowd. I know we're always going on about the crowd, and actually the crowd at Wimbledon are pretty fair, pretty decent. I do think though that on Sunday they're going to be pretty much to a man and woman for Federer, and Djokovic has a history of not liking that. He sort of gets under his skin when the crowd are against him. It doesn't necessarily affect him positively like it does some players. And that's going to, if Federer serves like that again and the crowd is for him, that's going to whip up the crowd more than it did today. It's going to be a pretty lonely place for Novak.
And of course, if Federer was to do it on Sunday, that would be an 18th Grand Slam title at the age of 33. It's been 3 years since he won his last. It would be astonishing. But first of all, to come on day 12, the women's final between Serena Williams and Garbine Muguruza. The Spaniards reached their first Grand Slam final. She's not quite got experience on her side against someone like Serena. But what do you think, Mike? If Serena's to lose this one, I suppose she's going to have a dip at some point. If she plays anywhere near her best, she's surely got that one.
Well, yes, obviously if it goes by the form book and the rule book and everything else, it's going to be Serena. But Muguruza, I mean, she's got a long career ahead of her, not too much to lose. You know, she's a big, strong, powerful girl, very magnetic personality as well. Really impressed by her media appearances today. Huge pressure on Serena, and we saw against Heather Watson. I mean, if Heather Watson can take Serena to 8-6 in the third, no disrespect to Heather, then Garbi and Muguruza can beat her. But first final, that's pretty tough at Wimbledon for Muguruza. So it's really how she reacts. If she reacts very positively to that, stranger things have happened. But it's Serena.
Finally, there's still a chance of British success here this weekend. Jamie Murray and John Peers. John Peers is a Australian partner, of course. They take on Jean-Julien Roger and Horia Tico in the final, which follows the women's singles final. And do you think there's a good chance of British success now? I mean, Jamie Murray and John Peers have formed quite a very, very good partnership. And Jamie actually said last night that he was thinking at that point, before he hooked up with John, that he was thinking of calling it a day.
Yeah, and I think actually a big factor in that, I mean, I don't suppose many people will know much about, including me, by the way, about Horia Tico, but I do know that he's lost 4 Wimbledon finals. That's quite a big burden to be carrying into a match. I don't know what sort of personality he is, to be honest, but that's not a great thing to go in with. Jamie's got the experience. He's played one final here, mixed doubles in front of a big crowd. He's won that. I think that's quite a big factor. I mean, I don't suppose technically there's going to be they're obviously a very good pairing. He's actually from the Dutch Antilles, Jean-Julien Roger, one of the tiniest countries that has a top-level tennis player. They're obviously a very good partnership, Sir Murray and Peers. I guess it's going to be who reacts better on the day. And again, the crowd, hopefully they'll stay behind. And that could well be, that'd be working in Murray's favour, hopefully.
Yeah, well, thanks for joining us again, Mike. We'll hope for some British success on day 12. Join us again. Thanks for joining. Can I edit this last bit? We can edit it in the office. Thanks for joining us on day 11, and join us again tomorrow for more here from Wimbledon.